like Akpanalo said, I'm Marcie. This is Kyle. We are Marcie and Kyle. um, this is not our first show, but it is our first show as with our new name. The Heart of Everything is our new band name, so you get to hear that for the first time.
Congratulations.
You hear it first. It was not easy to find that. If anybody has ever tried to name anything, you know that it's a pain in the ass. She knows.
We had to do a 40-day retreat in the desert. Do all the psychedelics. I'm just kidding.
We tried a few names, and we kept asking the audience, after we'd play for them, be like, what do you think? What's our genre? What do you think we should be called? And they're like, I don't know. We're like, us too, sorry. We don't know. But yeah, we are the heart of everything, and that is a bit tells a bit about us as people. I started off playing music. I was a classically trained violinist from age 7. I played until I was, 29. And it was a brutal, challenging upbringing. If anybody has ever been trained in classical anything, it's really difficult. And excruciatingly, it's a pressure cooker of perfectionism. And it took me years and years and years to break myself out of that perfectionism. And all I really wanted to do was sing. And they wouldn't let me sing. And I was like, okay, man, I'm going to work on this. But it took me quite some time to heal my trauma that I had from classical music and heal my voice. I would actually get on stage and try to sing, and my whole entire throat would close. I would have a panic attack, actually, right before. For 24 hours in advance of a performance, I would have my whole body would shake. I'd have a panic attack. And yeah, sometimes I would literally choke, my throat would close and I wouldn't be able to even perform the song. I would forget it. My mind would go blank. These somatic symptoms that I'm explaining. And I happen to also be a somatic therapist, a trauma release body worker, and that is a part of the history and why we're together. So I won't go too deep into that. But I ended up finding this path that you're about to experience through our music tonight, through a medicine ceremony, through ayahuasca. If anybody in here has ever done plant medicine or ayahuasca, yay. You know that it can be very healing, and that music is a very deep part of the ceremony experience, right? The medicine is healing medicine, can be very intense, and it's guided by healing music. And that is where I discovered that healing music was a path that I was going to be taking. Spiritual music was a path I was going to be taking. I have made a mantra album of Sanskrit music, which is yogic mantra, and released that album. And realized that I wanted to sing music that people could understand. So that has led me and Kyle actually to meeting. We met at a healing retreat a year and a half ago in Denver and began writing music about a month after that together. And I'll let Kyle tell a little bit about his path. It's really, really interesting.
Bonkers, dog. I was in a professional rock band for 10 years, raising hell and just being angry all around the world. Really angry and loud. And I was depressed, super depressed, super anxious. And I've been in New York 4 times. We come here just in and out and play shows, and it blew up. And I thought my life was over because my whole identity was dude in a rock band, and I put my entire worth in that. If we got a show, it meant I was worthy of living. If we got a radio hit, it meant I was good. And if we didn't get those things. So I lived and died by that. And then accidentally found, Marcie said, ayahuasca, and it changed everything. And, healed depression. I wrote a book about it called Thank God for Depression. But I did not bring it. Bro's laughing at it. He's like, that's funny. I'm like, yeah, it is funny. It's how to make depression the best thing to ever happen to you. And then I was going to quit music, and then started going to ayahuasca ceremonies, and then started performing in ayahuasca ceremonies accidentally. So singing in Spanish, Sanskrit, mantras, original songs. And then Marcie and I met, and we started writing songs for ayahuasca ceremonies. So we're like, what do people need to hear when they're deep on the medicine? And if you're not familiar with medicine, it's like, what does someone need to hear at like their lowest moment, you know? So we started writing songs for that, and then started playing them in ceremonies, and people started having very profound relationships with the music. So you're gonna hear one of those tunes. We started facilitating our own ceremonies, like heavily leaning on music, and then leading like sound ceremonies and stuff. So we're hippies. But like relatable hippies, like I'm not here to sell you wheat juice or wheatgrass or whatever. Or am I? Okay, so we're gonna ask everyone to close your eyes. Not for the whole song, but just right now. And just tune into your body. Notice the quality of your thoughts. If there's any stillness. There's no right or wrong here. You don't have to judge it. You can just notice it. Notice if there's anywhere in your body you can relax, or if there's anywhere you're holding tension. For this song to set an intention, and this time is for you. So whatever you need for the next 5-6 minutes, you can keep your eyes closed, you can open them.
Oh, mother, where is the light? I like the faith that all is right. Can I trust in your plan? That my life is perfect in your hands. Wake me up from the spell, 'cause I cannot see. Shine.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Question.
How do you find the right words to put in your lyrics for somebody who's at such a vulnerable place?
It's a good question.
Where do the words come from?
It kind of echoes. I mean, I want to hear what Marcie says, but it echoes what the last act said about intuition, where it's a how do I say this? It's we're feeling into what feels authentic to us, and every song we have is coming from a place of we've experienced this, or we're yearning for this, or we're struggling with this, and we're making the assumption that, you know, if we're struggling with this, someone else is struggling with this, and we're very conscious of the liminal space of psychedelics and hearing a phrase that could change your life, or again, like what is the message that someone needs to hear. And it's almost like, I like to think of it as like white magic, like pure magic of like, how do we channel light and bring people to light? And that's void of ego, you know, because we're also very aware of, in whatever space we're in, whether it's in this room or with sound bowls, with someone on psilocybin, or bringing a crowd into a trance, that the energy of how we sing and the energy of how we sing and the energy we carry is going to be transmitted in the crowd. So it's like we're trying to be pure vessels for the songs to flow through and the ideas to flow through, so we can serve others.
Yeah, a lot of them are coming through channeled. Like we sit kind of like we just did together tonight in order to write them. Like I don't feel that we write the words they write themselves through us. And I know that's also cliche because, well, obviously we're writing them, but we go into like a state of meditation. We sit quietly and we play for like 20-30 minutes sometimes. We go into these
like
healing states. Sometimes we've done them for an hour and a half. Whoops, we didn't realize that we had been channeling and singing. So he'll play guitar, he'll sing, like channel and sing words, and we'll come through. And then I'll take a turn, and then we'll go back and be like, oh, this is what happened. Like, this is really beautiful. We'll take this word, and then these sentences that feel, like he said, the most authentic and true to us. Actually, and then the test, right, is actually, we have a test. Like, someone asked this question before, and I was like, can't wait to answer that. The test of when you know the song is finished is when I cry.
This is not a joke.
Not
it's
a joke.
The litmus test. It's
Yeah.
like if she's weeping and her heart's cracked open, I'm like... And like, bro, we also forget that we always forget that to tell people we're in a relationship too. So it's funny.
I guess I have two questions. The first is, like, as a musician myself, like, I notice that other musicians will sometimes avoid certain, like, kind of like key signatures because they can have certain connotations. So, for example, like, D major is, like, super triumphant and things like that. It's not, like, the most chill vibe, whereas, like, D minor is, like, melancholy. So how do you approach, like, your songwriting when you're writing for such a vulnerable woman who kind of wants something that just sonically is a little bit more relatable? And then the second question is, how do you approach writing music with someone who you're, in a relationship with?
Sure, that's a good question. I got like a little ADHD fish brain, so I'm gonna have to slow those questions down.
You asked, how do we choose the key signature?
How do we choose key signature? Honestly, bro, I don't think about it. Like, I'm one of those musicians who I'm just like, oh, it feels good, like that's cool, and then it's also like just stuff comes out, and then like like there's another song we just finished which I love, and it's like, hold on, you turn me off, bro. Good. Like just 6/8.
Shaker.
Like just really stirring it up like a tornado, you know? So it's like for that, it was more like the seed of like, man, it would be cool, because in ceremonies it's like we're dealing with energy, you know, so it's like when the energy gets dense, you're like, how do we break that up? And it's like 6-8, like really something that's gonna cut, you know. So like that's always been in the back of my mind of like, so that maybe answers your question.
Actually, it's interesting because there maybe the perception of a ceremony is that someone's always in it. We sang a very sad song, or sad maybe vulnerable moment song, but not all of the ceremony is in that vulnerable state, right? There's every single spectrum of the human emotion can arise in a ceremony, and there's usually a flow to the journey. So we start out usually sometimes very quiet and just a sound bowl for 45 minutes, and then when the person's clearly dropping into the medicine space, then we start to play a song like Guidance, like you heard, that get them sort of flowing, and then the songs are a little bit more up-tempo or melodic and, like, I don't know, beautiful or intentional like that. And then when, like I said, he said someone is getting into their part where they need to clear or emotionally release, we'll pick certain songs in different keys. So at the end of the ceremony, when someone's had this like peak experience, they've cleared what they need to clear and really dropped in, there are these moments for triumphant pieces. We do have a song in D major that we play at the end. It's a mantra song and it's quiet, but we do have that. We actually have a song for every moment, and we have those prepared. So when we feel the moment, or what the music needs to inform the moment, to move the energy, we play that tune. So yeah.
It's a good question. Yeah.
And then he asked about how
the relationship,
how we write.
Well, so this is it. So like we were we met at this like this retreat was so bonkers, you guys have no idea. We meet at this retreat and we had the same vision of like wanting to write songs that would help people and heal people, and then we were friends first. So like we get in the room and it's really vulnerable writing songs. Like if anyone's a couple here, write songs together. I guarantee you it'll make your relationship way better. We're not selling any course about couple songwriting, but only wheatgrass. Yeah.
You don't need couples therapy. You
No,
just need
but
to try to write a song together because it's really hard.
No, it's super intimate because, like, you know, with the first time we wrote a song together, it's like we wrote 4 songs in one afternoon, and like she got blasted into the void, and like I'm like, what's happening, you know? And you gotta learn to hold each other, you know, because then like we both have major music trauma, you know, from like you know our past, and so it's like it can get sticky. I had like 5 words pop in my head right there. Like it can get sticky and hard, and it's like, how do you hold each other in those moments, you know?
Sometimes we just need to stop.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're like, all right, that's enough for today. Thanks.
Yeah. We're
gonna go our separate ways and be in other rooms. And sometimes we're like, we're so in love. That was amazing.
Yeah. Why don't we do this all the time?
Yeah.
You know? But it
yeah.
forces the hand of other things, because it's like if you're not communicating something, then you bring that into the songwriting session, you know? And if I'm not taking care of myself and I go in the songwriting session, disaster, you know? Like if these other things are going on, so it's a lot to. It can be stressful at times, but it's also beautiful. It's been the most rewarding thing.
Yeah, and it does really work sometimes, and that's usually when we're not thinking too hard about it. Like we go in and we're wanting to really enjoy, or it's usually like catch a good moment, and then the song's flowing, and then everything flows that way. But we do actually have to sit down and like, there's different sections to the songwriting process too. Like there's the 1.5 hour flows that are really fun, and then we have to get into the sort of analytical, like, okay, now we have to structure a verse and a chorus and a bridge, and he hates bridges, and I love bridges. I love them.
I never met a bridge that I was like,
except the
changed my life.
This song is good.
Yeah.
Man, I love them. So we fight about that. Like, he's like, the song is done. I'm like, no, it's not.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, it's not done. And when I say that, he's wrong. I'm just kidding. But I have had to be like a few times, I'm like, no, actually you're wrong. And then we go in again and we write the next part.
It's humbling.
And then we go in and we're like, oh wait, there's actually a 3rd part. And then we go in and we're like, oh no, there's actually a 4th part. And he's
She's
anyway.
funny, yo. She's funny.
But that's
like,
the difference in our writing process.
I was raised on like 3 minutes. Like you get in 3-minute song, you're out. You're out.
That's the interesting thing too. It's not just a couple, but like our trainings.
Yeah.
My classical, I'm like, wow,
So
14-minute songs, 30-minute songs. Mantra music is like
I can't
10
do
minutes,
anything
30
for 14
minutes.
Yeah. So
Yes, you can.
I can. Now I can. No, but it's cool though. It's cool because it's different we're not even answering your question now, but it's nice. It's nice when 2 + 2 = 6. You know.
That is true of
And
our
that's
music.
what
Actually,
relationships
is
are, right?
true.
You know, we do things together we can't do alone.
That's very true of our music. We both feel that way about the music that we make together. It's
Mhm.
better than what I can make alone
It's
and
true.
what he can make by himself.
Yeah.
Too.
Good talk, guys.
All right. Thank you. Have a great night.